Job was a good man. He lived in the land of Uz. Job loved God very much. He followed God's commands. He was blessed with wealth, a large family, and good health. Job was a shining example of faithfulness. Job's story is a testament to the power of faith. He faced unimaginable suffering, but his belief in God never wavered. This story is for anyone who has ever questioned God in the midst of pain. It reminds us that God is always in control. We can always trust in his goodness and love. One day Satan appeared before God in heaven. God pointed to Job as a faithful servant. Satan challenged God, implying that Job's loyalty was due to his blessings. Satan suggested that Job would curse God if he lost everything. God allowed Satan to test Job. God had complete faith in Job's unwavering devotion. This test was not about Job's faith for God's benefit. God already knew Job's heart. It was for us, the readers. It was to show us the depth of true faith. The first wave of suffering hit Job swiftly. Messengers arrived with devastating news. Raiders had stolen Job's oxen and donkeys, killing his servants. Fire from heaven had consumed his sheep and shepherds. Job tore his robe in grief. He shaved his head as a sign of mourning. His wealth, accumulated over a lifetime, was gone in an instant. Yet Job did not curse God. Instead he fell to the ground and worshipped. Naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Job 1:21 KJV. Satan wasn't finished. He appeared again before God. He claimed Job would only remain faithful if he remained healthy. God allowed Satan to test Job further, but not to take his life. Tragedy struck again. A great wind collapsed a house, killing all of Job's children while they were inside. Then Job was struck with painful sores all over his body. His suffering was immense. Job's pain was unimaginable. He sat on a pile of ashes, scraping his sores with a piece of pottery. His friends and neighbors abandoned him, believing his suffering was a punishment from God. Still Job refused to curse God. Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. Job 13:15 KJV. Job's wife, overwhelmed by grief and despair, urged him to curse God and die. She had lost everything too. Her pain echoed the cries of countless sufferers throughout history. "Why go on?" she pleaded. Job's response was profound in its simplicity. Shall we indeed accept good from God, and shall we not accept adversity? He understood that life is a tapestry of joy and sorrow. To deny the dark threads is to deny the beauty of the whole. Section 6. Job's unshaken faith. Despite his trials, Job clung to his faith. He questioned God, yes. He lamented his fate, yes. But he never wavered in his belief that God was just and merciful. Even in his darkest hour, Job uttered words of profound faith. "For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth." Job 19:25, KJV. Job's faith was not rooted in his circumstances. It was rooted in the character of God. He knew that God was good, even when life was not. His faith stands as a beacon for all who face adversity. It reminds us that even in the depths of despair, hope remains. Section 7. Job's friends and their advice. 3 friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, came to comfort Job. However, they ended up questioning his righteousness. They believed that suffering was always a consequence of sin. Job, they insisted, must have done something terrible to deserve such punishment. Their words, though well-intentioned, added to Job's anguish. They represented a common human response to suffering, to find blame, to seek an explanation, to make sense of the senseless. But Job knew in his heart that he was not being punished for his sins. His faith rested on a deeper truth. Section 8. God speaks. Finally, God himself answered Job out of the whirlwind. He didn't explain Job's suffering. Instead, he revealed his majesty and power. He questioned Job, "Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Have you commanded the morning since your days began?" Job 38:4-12. God's words were not meant to shame Job. They were meant to humble him. They reminded Job and us that God's ways are higher than our ways. We may never understand the reasons for our suffering, but we can trust in the one who holds all things in his hands. Section 9. Restoration and hope. In the end, God rebuked Job's friends for their misguided judgments. He blessed Job with even more than he had before. Job's health was restored. He was blessed with a new family, even larger than his first. The story of Job is not a fairy tale ending. It's a raw and honest portrayal of faith tested by fire. It teaches us that suffering is a part of life, but it doesn't have the last word. God is bigger than our pain. He is near to the brokenhearted. He promises to restore and redeem all that has been lost, and in the end his grace is sufficient for us.